Alright, so, I'm going to be doing a review of Avengers Twilight Dreaming. This is the second volume in the Avengers Jed MacKay run. This is another comic sent to me by my friend Chris. Chris, thank you once again, brother. Yeah. So this one kind of needs a little context. Jed MacKay's Avengers began with the Impossible City, and basically after beating a group called the Ashen Combine, the Avengers got a sentient city that they now use to, like, the goddamn Watchtower from Justice League. But now they have to deal with something that Jed MacKay's been building up to with Timeless, and I'm sure this whole undercurrent story with Kang the Conqueror was going to be bigger, but after the whole thing with Jonathan Majors, they were like, put Kang away again. Like, I know you got something planned, MacKay, so just put that in the background. Like, they were really, like, trying to make... I don't know if that'll still be, like, a Kang-centric event. It doesn't look like it. That's going to be an Avengers-centric story. Anyway... So, in the comic Timeless, Kang is looking for the missing moment, and came across a new villain called Meridian, and his Twilight Court. Now, let me talk about something real quick about MacKay's Avengers writing, and it's kind of bled into his other work as well. He's kind of repeating himself a lot. Like, literally, every time he has done a major story, there's always, like, these new characters that have special abilities that can counter the other characters. That's been... literally since, like, the death of Doctor Strange, then we got it with the Ashen Combine in the first story arc of Avengers, then we got the Twilight Court, and I know for a damn fact there's a group of vampires that are like that in fucking Blood Hunt. MacKay, I love your writing, but, like, it's kind of getting obvious. Like, it's getting pretty damn obvious. Like, you did that 3 times in a fucking row. Anyway... So, the story basically for this one is that, like I said, Kang is now with the Avengers, and Meridian wants to find Kang and figure out what he knows about the missing moment. So, in here, we start off with a surprise attack from Nightmare, and essentially what also happens is that Wanda and Vision are the only ones left awake to battle... the Twilight Court, who have infiltrated with Meridian to kill Kang, and a fight ensues from there. Let's talk about Nightmare real quick. It turns out Nightmare, it's a really petty bitch thing, because Nightmare makes this whole big, thing about the Avengers losing, and they're all in, like, different costumes. You think it's an alternate Earth. Like, at first, you think it's an alternate universe, because Thor's in his, like, god-awful 90s costume, Tony's in, like, that stupid 2099 armor, and Falcon is, Captain America, Sam Wilson, is in a costume that's, like, his older uniform, not his newer one, and Carol's Miss Marvel. So you think at first this is an alternate reality, watching this big monster, and there's a cool narration throughout it, and then you realize, and then Scarlet Witch is the first one to realize, hey... this ain't right, and then the narrator goes, she found me. Shit. And that's when you realize, it's Nightmare, and this is one big dream. Yeah. And also, I like the fact that Jed MacKay is now, like, teasing that Wanda and Vision are getting back together. It seems like he's, like, between putting Tigra and Mark Spector back together, as well as, like, some other relationships he's repairing, dude clearly loved, like, Marvel in the 80s and, 80s era Marvel. Because those 70s and 80s Marvel, because that's where the relationships are. But yeah, I do think the biggest weakness with this book, and there is something else, I will say that Nightmare, he has this petty bitch moment where he's like, I just want a victory, like, I got my ass kicked by Jean Grey, and then, General Strange over in Doctor Strange, I just want to be a big shot again, give me a win, I just want to win. That's what Nightmare's whole thing starts with. But there's something else that Nightmare is hiding from the Avengers, and Thor and Wanda do find out later. I'm not going to spoil that. Meridian is still an interesting villain. I do think Meridian is going to be revealed to be another variant of Kang. That's been my and maybe they've revealed that because I'm just reading in trade. But that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. Could be wrong. Yeah. The story's still fun. It's just that we just did this whole thing with the Ashen Combine of the Avengers battling a bunch of people that can, like, counter their abilities and be the equal to them. And we just did that and we're doing that again already with the Twilight Court. And the Twilight Court are pretty interesting characters. There seems to be like they're not villains. They're like Meridian's own version of the Avengers, and they actually like, look, we don't want to hurt you. They're like talking to the Avengers, they're like, dude, we don't want to hurt you guys. We just like we're just after the same thing. Just let us kill Kang. And the Avengers can't let them kill Kang because he's telling them about all these trials and tribulations that the Avengers have to face and overcome, and basically give them like a cheat sheet. So they're like, well, fuck, we don't want to work with Kang, but we've got no choice. So, yeah. So that's kind of wrapped up in 4 issues. The 5th story involves Jarvis coming to the Impossible City, and also involves like a subplot story involving like the Avengers planning to attack Orchis and figure out how to help the X-Men. You know, something that I wish the Avengers would do more in previous comics, but hey, thanks Jed MacKay for actually doing the thing I think everyone's critiqued for God knows how long. And it involves a story involving the Mad Thinker, who's always fun to see whenever he shows up. Anyway, so aside from it feels like Jed MacKay is playing his hand again, it's still a solid run. I've been really enjoying it. I can't wait for the Avengers Blood Feud tie-in, as well as the main Blood Feud event. I've heard nothing but good things about Blood Feud. And the Avengers tie-in has Steve Rogers making his own makeshift team with my girl Kate Bishop, and also having like Hazmat. You guys remember Hazmat from Avengers Academy? I remember how bad they shit the bed with by trying to be, I don't know, trying to do Hunger Games. Remember Avengers Arena and how it completely shit the bed on Avengers Academy? I do. I never, because they were just trying to be Hunger Games. But yeah, so a cool team involving Cap teaming up with, it's a cool team with like Steve Rogers, with Hercules and Kate Bishop, Quicksilver, and Hazmat. That's a really cool team to fight Nazi vampires and Baron Blood. You guys remember Baron Blood? He's like that D-list, he's like a C-list Captain America villain, but he makes sense to be in a vampire event. So, I'm excited to read that and Blood Hunt. And again, like, I'm just following Avengers right now, so it makes sense. It's also funny that I'm like enjoying all these Jed MacKay books, and we're coming up to a Jed MacKay event, and Chris has been sending me both Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange and Avengers, which are kind of very well tied together to, like, very well tethered to the main event. So it's going to be cool to read those tie-ins in the main event and see how that all plays out from the same writer. Also, I can't wait for Vengeance of the Moon Knight. That's going to be cool too. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think? If you've been reading Jed MacKay's Avengers, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.